Yo, what is going on, YouTube? What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to the channel with me. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. So today we're checking out for the first time the Highwaymen, all right, with a song called Highwayman. So I know just a tad about this group because you guys have let me know in the comment sections. I've done some Johnny Cash on the channel, some Willie Nelson, even Chris. I haven't done Waylon before. I haven't seen it, heard any of his music, but this is a country-ish supergroup to my understanding, right? I don't know how... I don't know their sound, so I believe it's going to be along country since these men are all involved in country-style music in one way or the other, man. I've loved Johnny Cash. I've heard only a tidbit of Willie, but I love Willie. I love his personality. And that's the thing about at least Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson is even me being away from their music and not ever really listening to it or knowing about it, I knew of their personalities. I knew why people loved who they were, even if I didn't know their music. Their personalities, their character, you know, it went beyond music, man. It almost became popular culture for people to just know who they were, right? So that's very cool about them. Chris, I didn't know like that, and Waylon, I didn't know like that, although I've heard both of their names as well. So today we're going to dive into this group and check this out, the Highwaymen, with a song Highwayman. So let's waste no time, man. Let's get into this. It looks like we got a little bit of an official-ish music video with it, so we'll see what that's all about, man. Here we go. Thank you guys for rocking with me today. Let's check it out, man.
I was a highwayman. Along the coach roads I did ride, with sword and pistol by my side. Many a young maid lost her baubles to my trade. Many a soldier shed his lifeblood on my blade. The bastards hung me in the spring of 25, but I am still alive.
Oh, so he's like a robber and thief, I think, right? He got hung.
I was a sailor, I was born upon the tide. With the sea I did abide. I sailed a schooner around the Horn of Mexico. I went aloft to furl the mainsail in a blow. And when the yards broke off, they said that I got killed, but I'm living still. I was a dam builder across a river deep and wide, where steel and water did collide. A place called Boulder on the wild Colorado. I slipped and fell into the wet concrete below. They buried me in that great tomb that knows no sound, but I am still around. I'll always be around, around, and around, and around, and around. I fly a starship across the universe divide, and when I reach the other side, I'll find a place to rest my spirit if I can. Perhaps I may become a highwayman again, or I may simply be a single drop of rain, but I will remain. I'll be back again and again and again and again and again.
This had about the perfect sound that I could have imagined coming out of these guys right here with the Highwayman, dude. This is like, just listening to it, it's like I felt it, right? I could feel that these are these gentlemen. Like I said, I don't know Waylon, unfortunately, but the other gentleman I do know, and this is like quintessential. It's like I could see this being these guys for sure together. So for the story, it sounded like with Willie, we had him talking about. I thought it was like highway robbery back in those days. I might be wrong on that. It sounds like he got hung for it. Maybe so. That's the vibe I was getting with the story he told about that gentleman being a highway robber. Then you got the other trades being out on the sea. So we're talking about like different centuries. It almost feels like different generations of people. Way back in the coach, cowboy, western days, into the open seas, sailing, down into construction work, building dams, and then later on with a fighter pilot, with Johnny Cash's story. These different lives of these different people, but they will be back again, right? These are the highwaymen. So I'm interested to see what this story actually says on the wiki. Maybe there's going to be some information on that. I want to get clear what their thoughts were writing this one, man. Looking up this song, I saw that there was a movie. I don't know if that movie details this further or if it's purely because it looked like, at least for the movie, it might have been taken in a Western shoot, right? Like I saw people with cowboy hats, handlebar mustache, it looked like at least. So I don't know much about the movie, haven't never seen the movie. As far as the song, man, this just got some good feel to it. It's definitely, like I said, you put these guys together, it's what sound you want to hear, right? It's the sound you want to hear thinking about these guys together. It just started playing and I'm like, dude, this is like exactly what I thought I would get, and it's good, right? It's great, man. Their sound together is awesome. It just felt natural. It felt so natural when I heard it. So let's jump into it a little bit, check out a little bit about the Highwaymen with the Highwayman. All right, so we've got this one right here, guys. This Highwayman is a song written by American singer-songwriter Jimmy Webb about a soul with incarnations in 4 different places. I wanted to make that connection, but I wasn't sure. I was like, it's probably the same guy living in different eras, because that's why the time hop makes more sense in my mind. So reading that, exactly what I was thinking could be one of the things happening in this story. It's literally this man's life reincarnation happening over again as he lives these different lives as a highwayman. Let's see if I got that right with the highwayman, what that is. A highwayman was a robber who stole from travelers. This type of thief usually traveled and robbed by horse as compared to a footpad who traveled and robbed on foot. Yeah, okay. A sailor, a construction worker on the Hoover Dam, and finally as a captain of a starship. The song was influenced by the real-life hanged highwayman Jonathan Wild. Webb first recorded the song on his album El Mirage, released in 1977. The following year, Glenn Campbell recorded his version on his 1979 album Highwayman. In 1985, the song became the inspiration for the naming of the supergroup, the Highwaymen, which featured Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Chris Christopherson. Their first album, Highwayman, became a #1 platinum-selling album. Man, these guys really threw it down, man. And their version of the song went to #1 on the Hot Country Songs Billboard chart in a 20-week run. Dang. Their version earned Webb a Grammy Award for Best Country Song in 1986. The song has since been recorded by other artists. Webb himself included a different version on his 1996 album. That's pretty cool, man. These guys do a version that really brings this song more on people's radar who maybe weren't paying as much attention before, and he got a Grammy because the supergroup with these gentlemen came out and really brought more eyes and ears to his song, it sounds like. So I like that, man. According to Webb, he wrote the song in London while he was finishing up work on his album El Mirage. After a late night round of professional drinking with his friend Harry Nilsson, shout out Harry, man, what's up? Webb went to sleep, had an incredible, vivid dream, man. Harry Nilsson, loved that. I'm gonna dive more into him. I had an old brace of pistols in my belt, and I was riding hell-bent for leather down these country roads with sweat pouring off my body. I was terrified because I was being pursued by police who were on the verge of shooting me. It was very real. I sat up in bed, sweating through my pajamas. Without even thinking about it, I stumbled out of bed to the piano and started playing Highwayman. Within a couple of hours, I had the verse, man. There you go with that one. Webb included the phrasing in the line, "Along the coach roads I did ride," to convey a kind of antique way of speaking. Not sure of where the song was leading him, Webb realized that the Highwayman character does not die, but becomes reincarnated, and 3 subsequent verses evolve from that idea. In the second verse, he becomes a sailor, in the third, a dam builder, and in the fourth verse, Webb switches to the future tense, and the character becomes an astronaut who will someday fly a spaceship across the universe divide. Very cool concept and idea, man. Coming into a country song, this is not really the story I was expecting to hear and be told, but I love it, man. I love it. So this is a first for me to be able to hear in a country song talks about reincarnation and these 4 different areas of life like that. I mean, I wouldn't have expected I was going to hear a song with that subject matter in this realm, this genre. So, man, mad shout out. Let's see just a little bit about the Highwaymen, man. We've got these guys, you know, originating in the United States, multiple areas. They were active for 10 years, a whole decade. Wow, I would have thought we would get a shorter stint. A lot of supergroups are super short, right? Supergroup, super short, man. We're talking 5 years or less on my radar, what we've seen, man. With this country group, it says 10 years, guys. So were they running the show for some 10 years? They got multiple albums, 3 albums. Sometimes that's part of the course. Supergroup, sometimes you might get 2, 3 albums. So, okay, 10-year span, but about 3 albums. So, checking that out, man. Pretty dope, pretty dope. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed rocking with me here today, man. I really hope so. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the descriptions down below. Let me know if there's more from the Highwaymen you guys want me to check out, man. If you are enjoying the content I produce on a daily basis, please consider becoming a member here on my YouTube or Patreon for as little as $3, man. It's a great way to give back to the channel if you're enjoying the content I produce, gentlemen. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one, man. Peace.